Afterburn sure is annoying, huh? You just got finished beating a pyro, but you've taken a substantial amount of damage from doing so. You find a health pack and are about to grab it, and you die. Sucks, right? That's happened to literally every player, and hell, there's even an achievement called Fire and Forget that literally depends on you doing enough damage beforehand to finish them off with Afterburn, as it requires killing 15 people when you're already dead. So yeah, Afterburn's a nuisance, but honestly, that's all it really is, a nuisance. Yes, it is done when you're killed by it, but really, I'd say that's mainly on the person set on fire. Think about it, Scout is a flimsy but flexible class, and going into a firefight, no pun intended, with a pyro, you shouldn't, and yes, I know this sounds obvious, shouldn't get close to a pyro. That goes for any class in general, I mean, just use your brain. And I thought pyro mains were the mindless players. Anyway, Scout, you have low health. A pyro is going to abuse that easily with their primary weapon, as well as either a flare gun or a shotgun. Flames from a flamethrower do 13 damage up close, or 6.5 from afar per particle, which of course makes Pyro a class that excels at close range. Scouts will go down easily if you're too reckless, and even if you get a few good meat shots on a Pyro, you run the risk of taking a lot of damage from the flames, which if you're the victor in the fight, will run the risk of you dying from Afterburn, making the Pyro who was basically outplayed get a kill that they didn't deserve. This is further proved by the weak Afterburn of the Degreaser and Dragon's Fury. Other than having less air blast, the Degreaser has less afterburn per tick too, making the Degreaser virtually useless when trying to gain a kill when you die. This also proves that afterburn truly is just a nuisance, as how the hell are you going to die from it if they used the Degreaser? The Dragon's Fury also has weak afterburn, as it lasts for only 2 ticks, dealing 8 damage overall. Keep in mind, this is from taking damage from one fireball, as it constantly deals mini crits when you're successful at aiming at enemies. I also realised that coming into close range in places like hallways and vents makes it hard to escape, but sucks for you I guess. But seriously, there's not much you can really do in situations like that, so I can't see people dying from Afterburn all that much, since they'll most likely incinerate you before you have the chance to retaliate. I ran through why Scout shouldn't do a dum-dum, so let's run through the rest of them, shall we? Soldier, while having a good health pool of 200, can easily be countered by a pyro in a number of ways. The only way you can avoid them is being far away or using secondaries. And you think using the Contra would help, but that just leaves you with your primary and melee, so it's best not to use that either. Pyro is probably the only person I can recommend countering a pyro by being up close, mainly because he has the ability to not take afterburn damage due to his flame retardant suit, basically making Pyro a god. But anyway, strafing around the other pyro and making sure to hit them before they hit you is probably the best idea. Oh yeah, and because of the suit, this again makes Afterburn just a nuisance, since it doesn't affect every class. Demoman I'd say is fairly similar to Soldier, however he can easily lure a pyro into a trap with his sticky bombs, and has some leniency with his pills. Though again, because he's a projectile class and doesn't have a bullet based weapon like the Soldier, it can be hard to counter a pyro from afar. Heavy however does not have this problem. The minigun can tear a pyro apart from a pretty decent range, so Afterburn shouldn't be too much of an issue if you have good aim. Really, with a large health pool and devastating primary weapon, Pyro and their Afterburn is really just a nuisance. You could say that Engineer has it even easier than Heavy, since he has an aimbot gun, aka the Sentry, to distract the Pyro with. Basically, they just need to place it down and keep away from it, since the Pyro will most likely go after it instead of the Engineer. Even if they go after the Engie, the Sentry gun will most likely finish them alongside being shot at from the Engineer. It can be different when they play on offense, however depending on what they use it will still be a breeze. They even have a dispenser to heal themselves and everyone else on their team, essentially making Afterburn a, say it with me, nuisance. But overall, the Engineer has it pretty easy when avoiding fire on defense. Medic is probably the class that has the most trouble in all honesty. Yes, he does have healing powers allowing him to fight against Afterburn's damage, but the problem is he won't be able to fight back when healing others. This is down to if his partner he's healing is capable of taking the pyro out quickly enough, but if they can't, the medic has a serious problem. Even with a 1v1 battle against a pyro, medic's arsenal is very lackluster. The syringe gun would probably be your best bet against one, or even a crit with the Uber Sword, because we all know that crits like crazy. So medics, I'm afraid, would probably be one of those classes that have trouble with Afterburn for once. Haha, I'm just kidding. Medic would be fine unless you can't take him out with a 1v1 or his partner is useless, so once again, Afterburn is pointless. Snipers are certainly in that category of being mostly safe, due to being able to pick off literally any class from very far away, and I mean very far away. And really, that's all I need to say. Sniper is a perfect counter to Pyro, and the only way you can get hurt is from one sneaking up on you, or you whiffing all of your shots. And even if they get close, you can throw Jarate to extinguish yourself, use a Darwin's Danger Shield, or even use the cozy camper for shits and giggles. Essentially, Sniper is the Thanos to Pyro's Afterburn. And finally, the sneaky Frenchman himself, the Spy. The Spy is certainly one of those classes that struggle due to having to be up close most of the time. If you get hit with fire, you're basically screwed. If they're spy checking, then you'll have an even harder time getting kills. Spies will definitely have to be sneaky to kill pyros and make sure you aren't spotted. If you are, the best bet is to shoot them before they disperse of you. And if Afterburn is really affecting you, you can always use the Dead Ringer and Spicicle, though just be ready to be told that you suck if you do, because you can't use a tactic that works against them when they can't be bothered to adjust their own. That'd be silly. So yeah, while Spy suffers the most, they can definitely get out of being affected by Afterburn, making it fairly pointless once again, even against the class Pyro is strongest against. Lastly, let's talk about health kits and Afterburn duration. Afterburn duration of course depends on how much you flame an enemy. Flare guns make the Afterburn last for a solid 7 seconds regardless, and also resets when hit by a flare again. Of course, this could be great for long range harassment with weapons like the Detonator and the Scorch Shot, however, the second talking point, health kits, make this fairly useless. I don't need to explain what they do, they're freaking health kits. But the point I do want to point out is that it also extinguishes you when it's walked over, so not only do you gain a certain amount of health depending on the size of the kit, but it removes the ticks of damage from the Afterburn, making all that work from flame-based weapons or harassing them from afar worthless. But yeah, I just wanted to share my thoughts on Afterburn. It's clear that it isn't the primary way you should use to kill someone, but then if it's not, why really bother with it? Yes, I know you can't choose whether you have it or not, but most of the time it does so little damage that it really doesn't become the deciding factor in a lot of battles you have as a pyro. It's great to finish off that one cocky player that taunts after every kill with it from time to time, or dealing the final blow to that medic who got the undeserved random crit. There is a few and far between, meaning overall, say it with me one last time, Afterburn is just a nuisance. But what do you think of Afterburn? Do you think it needs a change, or is it far better than I say it is? Let me know down below. And as always, this has been your Fem Pyro Enthusiast BonOakley, signing out. See you in the next one.
Here's some of the great fan art people have made for us. There better be one of me. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to do something. Or someone.
Thanks for watching! I'm going to make this brief. My break isn't too long today, you know. Watch more videos above and other stuff, I suppose. Whoops, gotta go, bye!